What's up, you guys? It's Show Up Lifestyle. I want to talk about silly positive thinkers. You know, I'm hearing a lot about this law of attraction, and people are on video telling people that if they just think positive, if they just think as though they're already rich, as though they already have food, as though they're already in a house, that they can manifest it. If you just think about flowers and butterflies, all your dreams will come true. And to me, it's getting a little silly. People are feeding into this idea that you don't have to take any action, that things will just happen because you think about it, because you want it to happen. And my thought on this is, if that was true, then why isn't it happening? And people will say, well, people have negative thoughts because people are in negative situations. And people go on camera and they show you this fancy car, this nice house, and what they're eating, and they're saying, just look at me. You don't have food on your table. You don't have the big house, but look at mine. And I manifested this through the way that I'm thinking and thinking alone. Then you ask them questions like, well, what did you do? What steps did you take to get you there? And they're like, I just took action. I just took action. They won't tell you what actions they took. They won't tell you what they did to get there. They'll just tell you, they'll switch the story and say, I just looked at the house that I wanted every day. And 2 years later, here I am in that house. This seems silly to me because there had to have been actions that you took, and if you can't explain how you got there, and you have no guideline and you have no steps to how you got there, then something tells me you're ashamed of the reason why you got there. Something tells me that you're hiding something that you don't want to tell people because you want people to have this illusion that you just thought about what you wanted and it came real. It became part of your reality. But then if you ask really successful people what they did, and they'll tell you it was a struggle. They'll tell you they had to make changes. They'll tell you they had to take action. They can tell you the steps that they took to take action to get to where they are because they had to take action. I'm not saying that positivity doesn't play a role in success. If you want to accomplish something, you do have to have a vision in your mind of what it is you want to accomplish, what it is you want to move forward. Because you have to know where you want to go in order to get there. So there is a certain degree to what positive thinking can do for you because you have to think positively. You have to think about what you want, but you also have to think about what actions you need to take in order to get there. So just thinking about it isn't going to do anything for you. And that's what a lot of these law of attraction positive thinkers want you to believe, is that you can just sit around and think good thoughts and good things will happen to you. But good things don't just happen to people who wish. Good things happen to people who take action. So the question is how do you take those actions? How is it that you can think positively and then take action towards that positivity? If you're starving and you need to put food on the table, sitting there thinking about food isn't going to put food in your stomach. If you start thinking, oh, I'm eating a big juicy steak with some mashed potatoes on the side and some green beans, and you just sit there and think about it, and your child is next to you and they're starving, and you tell the child, hey, look, son, I'm rich. You're rich. Your tummy is growling because you're not thinking about the food that you want. You're not thinking about the steak, the mashed potatoes, and the green beans. You're thinking about daddy feed me. And daddy's not going to feed you. This is the kind of mindset that these law of attraction people want you to believe. But if you go back into the book of Think and Grow Rich, where this concept really came from, the steps are: decide on what you want, decide on what you're going to sacrifice or give in exchange for what you want, keep the thought in your mind, and give what you say you're going to give. So the basis of it is really the process of knowing what you want and how you're going to get there. And to bring it back just a few steps, this whole law of attraction thing came about through big corporations to motivate their salesmen to make more sales. That's the goal in all of these positive thinking, law of attraction, people. They were sales representatives teaching their salespeople how to make more sales. It was motivating them to work more, to put more work into their hours. It was never about think about the house that you want, think about the food that you want to put on your table, think about the clothes you want, think about the lifestyle you want. Their main goal was to increase sales. So if somebody was doing 10 sales a week, they were telling them to think about how you can do 100 sales a week. What phone calls do you need to make? How do you need to approach your prospects? That's what this whole law of attraction really was for salesmen. How can you increase your sales? Aim higher for your sales. It was never about thinking about, positive thoughts and how you could get a house. It was always about sales. They wanted to motivate their salespeople, their sales force, to make more calls, to do more calls, to get more sales, to grow their business. Not the individual's business, but the corporation. They wanted people to make more sales to grow the corporation. And of course, the salespeople who made more sales benefited from it. But that was the whole goal, was to get salespeople to make more sales. It wasn't this law of attraction that we think of today. It wasn't the law of attraction that says, you know, you can do anything, you can be anyone. It was to take more action. Law of attraction was really based on taking more action. Was to have a clear vision of what it was that you wanted to put in and what you expected to get out of what you put in. So this positive thinking has become a little bit silly because people, think that they could just think themselves rich, that they can just think themselves successful, that they can just think themselves into a new house. But tell that to the millions of people who are filing for unemployment, who have no main source to even think about how to do more, because right now they have nothing. And people don't go over this with people. People don't say, like, oh, you have nothing. Just think positive. But people can't think positive when they're in a negative state because the negative state is real. So now what do they aim for now when they're in lockdown? They have no human interaction in person. They have no job to succeed in, and they're feeling stuck. How do you use that positivity to get you out of that spot? If positivity is working for you, please leave a comment. Let me know how you were able to think positively and change your circumstances right now in this time of day. Make me a believer. Let me know what your positive thinking has done for you right now. Turn me into a believer. Put it in the comment below and let me know how you're thinking positively and how you've changed your circumstances because of positive thinking. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. And I hope everybody does well. God bless.